Still forgetting the stages of erythropoiesis during exams and can't remember the sites, erythropoietin, triggers or required factors? Don't worry. In the next 5 minutes, I will help you remember the entire erythropoiesis chapter by using just 5 memory tricks. No mugging up, no lengthy notes, so just run through it. First come the sites of the erythropoiesis. Remember this track: yolk sac, liver and bone marrow. Next come the trigger for erythropoietin, the role of blood oxygen and kidneys in it. The raw material required for erythropoiesis are iron, whose deficiency causes microcytic anemia, and vitamin B12 and folate, whose deficiency causes macrocytic or megaloblastic anemia. Next come the maturation factory. See the stages of erythropoiesis, pro-normoblasts to erythrocytes. And lastly, the most important, the master map, the role of iron, vitamin B12 and erythropoietin in the formation of erythrocytes in bone marrow, which ultimately lead to the matured RBCs. So let's start. Now let's begin the most feared part, the maturation sequence. Most students try to memorize every stage individually and get confused. Instead, remember only this shortcut. Stem cell forming colony forming unit form blast cells, that is normoblast, then reticulocytes and mature RBCs. That's it. The entire RBC journey in one line. So let's see. Pluripotent stem cell form colony forming unit GEMM, then burst forming unit erythroid, ultimately colony forming unit erythroid, and form the pro-erythroblast, which lead to the normoblast stages, which are 3: early, intermediate and late, and then form the reticulocytes and the mature RBCs. Think of it like a student becoming a doctor. School, college, interns, resident, junior doctor and consultant. Same idea. But where this process of erythropoiesis happens during life, one 3-letter trick can solve that. Here comes the easiest Viva question. Sites of erythropoiesis. Remember only 3 letters, YLM. What does YLM means? Y for yolk sac, liver and marrow. Imagine a young baby saying, young liver makes blood. Yolk sac, liver and marrow. Yolk sac in embryo, liver and spleen in fetus, and red bone marrow in adults. If I ask you after 1 week, where does erythropoiesis occur, you will immediately remember YLM. Now let's see what happens to the RBCs as it matures. This slide alone can save marks in university exam. The stages of erythropoiesis. Let's see. It starts with pro-erythroblast, early normoblast, intermediate normoblast, late normoblast, reticulocytes and RBCs. Imagine RBC climbing a ladder. While climbing, the cell size goes down, nucleus goes down and the hemoglobin goes up. That's the only thing you need to remember. So let's revise. Cell size goes down, nucleus shrink and disappears, and hemoglobin goes up and color changes from blue to pink red. So as the cell matures, we have seen cell becomes smaller, loses its nucleus and fills with the hemoglobin. But what tells this bone marrow to start making more RBCs? This is probably the easiest regulation mechanism in physiology. Imagine your body notices low oxygen. Low oxygen says, help, we need more RBCs. Who hears the call? The kidney. The kidney releases erythropoietin. Erythropoietin stimulates bone marrow and bone marrow makes more RBCs. And oxygen becomes normal. Problem solved. So low oxygen, kidney cells and marrow makes more RBCs. Repeat again. Low oxygen stimulates kidney cells and marrow makes more RBCs. Remember, erythropoietin is mainly produced by the epithelial cells of the peritubular capillaries. Now let's remember all the factors required for erythropoiesis in one easy box. Think of RBC production is like making a cake. You need ingredients. Ingredient 1, iron, which makes hemoglobin. 2, vitamin B12 for DNA synthesis. Folic acid for DNA synthesis. Proteins for cell growth, especially globin, and hormones, androgen and thyroxine for support. So let's revise once again. Iron for hemoglobin, B12 and folic acid for DNA, proteins for globin, and hormones, androgen and thyroxine for support. So this is the reason why men have more RBC count than females. So no iron, no hemoglobin, microcytic anemia. No vitamin B12 and folate, no DNA, megaloblastic anemia. Now let's store the entire chapter in your memory vault. Timeline: yolk sac, liver, marrow. Sequence: stem cell, colony forming unit, blast, normoblast, reticulocytes and RBCs. Rules: cell size decreases nucleus decreases, then disappears, and hemoglobin increases. Trigger: low oxygen stimulate peritubular capillaries of kidney, releases erythropoietin, act on marrow, releases RBCs. And the factors required: iron for hemoglobin, vitamin B12 and folic acid for DNA. Now let's see top 5 Viva questions. What is erythropoiesis? RBC formation for stem cells. What is reticulocytes? These are the immature RBCs with RNA remnants. Where is erythropoietin produced? In the kidneys, mainly epithelial cells of the peritubular capillaries. What is BFU-E? Bus forming unit erythroid, and CFU-E is colony forming unit erythroid. Now pause the video now. Try to reproduce the entire chapter on a blank page. If you can do that, you are exam ready. If this memory trick helped you, watch the complete 10 marks answer video on erythropoiesis next. And if your exam is tomorrow, watch this 5-minute revision version linked on a screen. So best of luck for your exams. Thank you.